Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Galaxy News Podcast. I am here with my co-host King Fanman. King, how are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. With the recent virus situation, it's a little nerve-wracking.
What, is there a virus going on somewhere?
There's a virus going on. I don't know if you heard, King, but there's a virus going around. Yeah, it caused E3 to be canceled. That stinks. Do you think that means no more E3 for the rest of our lives, King?
No, I really don't. I do not understand these people that are saying that. I think E3 is, and of course, me and you kind of talked about this. E3 is the Super Bowl of gaming. I don't think E3 is ever going to go away. I think it may change and evolve. I think it needs to do that. But E3, in my opinion, is never going to go away fully.
Yeah, like you said, it's the Super Bowl of gaming conferences. It's the WrestleMania of gaming conferences. This is where companies, where publishers want to come and show off their games. This is it. This is the pinnacle. Now, I know Sony not being there and other companies choosing not to be at E3.
Can I speak to that just for a second?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. And people use that. Xbox has their own, show. Well, I was at E3 this year, and I had been hearing this. Xbox has their own show. They're not at E3 anymore. Literally, you can walk. Xbox was in the next building. So saying that Xbox was not at E3 is really not genuine. They are at E3. They were in the very next building.
Yeah. Yeah, and the one important thing too is you have people buying tickets, like myself, for example, who was going to potentially buy an E3 ticket and travel across the country to go to E3. You have yourself that did it last year. Went to California to attend E3. They have people traveling from across the world going to this conference.
Absolutely.
It makes a lot of money. I just think the only reason why this thing got canceled had nothing to do with attendance, had nothing to do with lack of participants. It had everything to do with the virus that's going around. It had everything to do with that. The NHL season just got suspended. NBA season got suspended. Major League Baseball just suspended spring training, and they're going to delay the start of the season. March Madness might be canceled. That's insane. March Madness makes billions of dollars. That might be canceled. So just because, there's going to be a March Madness next year, they're not going to not have March Madness. And just to say that no more E3 forever and people to think that there's going to be no more E3, it's just a little silly. It's still a huge name. People still go to this. You have companies like Bethesda that want to participate at E3. It's just so huge. If E3 is done, so is everything else. E3 is the pinnacle. E3 is the Super Bowl of gaming conferences. People know this. That's why I'm a little confused as to why people think that E3 is going away. Me personally, that just it makes no sense. It makes no sense to jump to that conclusion that E3 is going away. I don't know. I don't agree with that entirely.
I think it's in the digital age when they're getting away from physical copies. When people are doing everything online, what they're thinking is, instead of going to a location, people are thinking, well, we're just going to watch everything online, and they're just going to present everything online. Instead of going to a physical conference, we'll just hold the conference online. And of course, that's what they're going to do this year. But that's just not the same thing. And I really don't think it's ever going to go away from a physical conference, in my opinion. Now, again, like I said in the opening, I think it will evolve and change, and E3 has changed over the years, and I think it will still have to change and become better, but I don't think it will ever go away.
Yeah, and to say that people are watching it over streams, that's why that's a possibility that it could go away. That's probably the silliest thing I've heard, because you could watch football on TV. You still are going to want to go to the games.
I was about to say, there's nothing better than that live experience.
Exactly. Same with any other sporting event, any other event. You want to go there and watch a live experience. Watching a concert on TV is not the same as experiencing a concert live.
That's right.
It's not the same. So to say that, oh, we're heading in, or we're in the digital age and streaming and people will just rather watch it at home, no, that couldn't be any more false. I totally disagree with that entirely. And like I said, E3 makes them a lot of money. E3 makes a lot of money.
Yes.
So to say that it's going to be canceled, or not canceled, but just completely, gone, dissolved, that's silly. It might change a little bit. It might change. I think it's going to change before it goes away.
And again,
that's just my opinion.
There's really no evidence you can point to. They point to, there's people leaving the conference. They're really not. You point to Xbox or Sony, they're still having their conferences, and it's right there in Los Angeles, right there by E3.
Yeah.
They want to be as close to E3 as they can get, so they can get those physical people coming to their conference
during the same weekend.
Yes, they're participating in E3. Like I said, Xbox literally was in walking distance of E3. I mean, it was in the very next building.
Yeah, and the reason why they do this and they don't hold it during a different weekend is because they know everybody that attends E3 is going to want to check them out as well. So it all goes hand in hand. Everything works around each other, if that made any sense.
Absolutely.
Man, it's just it's something that makes a lot of money, and it's something that I don't think is ever going to go away. Now, if anybody can bring anything up as far as that maybe E3 hasn't made a lot of money recently, well, and you could also bring up the argument, because I remember when they first showed Fallout 4 at E3, okay, 2015, they showed Fallout 4, and they said that they don't want to attend E3 every single year. They don't want to do this every single year. Well, what have they been doing ever since that announcement?
Been there every
single
year.
Now, I think there could be a reason for that, and that could be because maybe Bethesda is one of their. You would say this in sports. For, let's say, a fighter, Bethesda might be their cash grab, if you will. Because for me, the only reason why I would fly out there and buy a ticket to E3 is to see Bethesda's conference.
Right.
And then everything else is a bonus.
Right.
But if Bethesda wasn't there, I wouldn't spend my money. So Bethesda is very important, I feel, now, especially since their conference in 2015, how successful that was. I think Bethesda is very important to E3, and that's why they've been there every single year since Fallout 4.
Let me give an example of Bethesda. Bethesda did their showcase actually before E3, but right there in Los Angeles. But it's all centered around E3. So they're showing off their games, their new games. And that's how all of the Microsoft, that's how all of the game companies are doing it. We're talking about the Super Bowl of gaming, where they're going to introduce all of these new games for the year. I mean, this is where all of their advertising is coming from, E3. Where else are they going to do that? How else are they going to do that?
Yeah, it's the biggest platform that gaming has.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. Like I said, I've said this a million times so far, but I just find it ridiculous that people actually think that E3 can go away. I don't think it will. It might change a little bit, but I don't think it's going to go away. Too many people love going to E3, experiencing E3. It'll just never. This year, it being canceled wasn't for any other reason other than for a virus. That's it.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the only reason. It had nothing to do with anything else but the virus. So that's my take on it. I just personally don't think E3 is going to go away. We're definitely E3 2021. That's going to happen. And it stinks. It really does, because I was looking forward to possibly seeing, obviously, Starfield at E3 this year.
Well, do you think, and I know this may be a little different than what you wanted to talk about today, but do you think that may change what they do with their conference this year? Do you think they may pull back some of the things they were going to show this year since they're not going to have the showcase?
The thing is, I think if they were 100% set to show off Starfield and they were set to release it this year, and if I don't think they're going to delay Starfield just because they can't show it at E3. So, in my opinion, I don't think so. I just think they're going to have their own little maybe stream themselves. I don't think they're going to not, if Starfield is ready, they're not going to delay it. It just makes no sense. Right. If E3 is the reason, that's just a little silly. If it's ready, it's ready. Just release it if it's ready. Yeah. If it's not ready, then it's not ready. Then I don't want it. If it's not ready, I don't want a garbage product. But if it's ready, then it's ready.
Well, the reason I ask, because it really goes directly with what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Is there going to be as much hype behind a online E3 as there would be a physical E3? And we're going to see this year, because they're going to do a strictly online showcase, and they're going to show whatever they have to show. And we're going to see, is there going to be as much hype behind it? I don't think there is.
No, of course not. And I don't really see a reason for, let's say, a Bethesda to do an online participation with E3, because they could just do it themselves. Mm-hmm. So that kind of doesn't make sense when you're talking about it like that. So yeah, I don't think there won't be as much hype.
That's why I was wondering, do you wait? And that the marketing department's got to think about that.
I don't think Bethesda, they don't have to wait, because when they revealed the Fallout 4 trailer way back when, and I know, King, I always bring it up and talk about it.
But Fallout has a built-in fan base. Starfield is a new IP that does not have that built-in fan base. Now Bethesda does, but Starfield doesn't.
I think Starfield will feed off of Fallout and Elder Scrolls.
Oh, certainly.
Because all Bethesda has to say is, link that game up with those two games, and you have your market right there.
But think about this, and I'm interrupting you. Think about this. You walk into a game store.
Yeah.
You just the average Joe Blow walks into a game store, and you see a game sitting on the shelf. Everybody knows Fallout. You see that helmet, everybody knows what Fallout is. Or Elder Scrolls, you see the dragon's wings. I mean, everybody knows it instantly. Mm-hmm. Starfield, does the average gamer, you see that name, we don't even really know what the logo is, or you've seen the one little logo. Yeah. Does the average gamer know what Starfield is? We do, but the average gamer doesn't.
The thing is, though, does the average gamer know Fallout? And if the average gamer knows Fallout, then I feel that same gamer would know Starfield.
Come on, Joe.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But they don't. They're not going to know Starfield.
I don't know. I disagree with you there.
You can't put in their head what we know.
Yeah, I know. I realize that. I think personally, I don't think that's an issue, because, like I said, they could market it in a way to relate it to Elder Scrolls and Fallout. If now
you're going to have to put the Fallout helmet on the
yeah,
cover.
yeah. I mean, they would have to figure out a way
From the makers of Fallout, I guess.
Yeah, if that's an issue, they would actually 100% have to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you look at a game like Cyberpunk, the reason why people fell in love with that game is because they love The Witcher.
Yeah.
That's why. So Cyberpunk fed off of The Witcher. So Starfield will do the same with Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Now, if BGS had nothing and it was just Starfield, and let's say, for example, if you're a brand new studio and you're about to reveal this brand new game, you don't even have to be a new brand new studio. You don't even have to be that. But if you have this brand new game that is unlike any other game that you have done, and I'm not talking about the kind of game, the genre, I'm talking about it being an RPG and all that fun stuff. So if you're trying a brand new game, then maybe I would wait. But for Starfield, it's going to be just like your single player experiences with Fallout, with Elder Scrolls. It's going to be similar. So that's why, in my opinion, if you just let everybody know, hey, this is just a Fallout in space, and people have been saying that for years, well, you could market it like that.
Yeah.
If they, I don't think Bethesda, in my opinion, doesn't need E3. That's just my opinion.
I'm just saying it's going to be tougher without it. That's all I'm saying.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Well, King.
Yes.
Let's transition. And let's talk about the Pete Hines podcast. And me and you had a lot to say about this podcast before we started the recording of this episode.
You can't see me, but I'm smiling.
So let's talk about how do you feel about Pete Hines talking about YouTubers and him being annoyed with them and him calling them liars, and how do you feel about that?
Well, he didn't say much. He really didn't.
Yeah.
I thought, number one, let me choose my words carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he did not say much. I don't remember him calling them liars.
Yeah.
Did he actually say that?
I don't think he says they're liars. I just think he said that they will blow things out of proportion for views.
Yeah, he said they would do it for clicks.
Yeah.
The other guy said more than Pete said. I think Pete may have agreed with it, but I thought Pete handled it pretty well. You could tell Pete was not happy with some of the YouTubers out there, maybe. Yeah. And in my opinion, I think Pete probably has good reason not to be happy with some of the YouTubers out there. And
110%.
And this is my opinion why. Now, do not get me wrong, Bethesda, of course, has made some terrible missteps. We understand why. I think we all understand some of the missteps they've made with Fallout 76, with some of the decisions they've made in marketing, some of the decisions they've made with the bag and all the things that we've gone through 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
However, they bent over backwards with some of the YouTubers to bring them out, to give them early access to the game, to they really just, did things they didn't have to do.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And the many of them, and I'm not naming names, it's okay. Maybe I can put it this way. It's okay to be honest and give your honest opinion of the game. But there are YouTubers out there that from day one have bashed the game unmercifully over and over and over and over and over and over. And they have done it. And some may be listening and saying, well, it deserves it. No, they have done it purposely in ways that the game does not deserve. And you may disagree with that, but they look for things.
Listen, there are YouTubers that, like what Pete Hines said, they
and I'm holding back because I
know you are.
They make
I know
me
you
angry.
are. I know you are. Believe me, I know you're holding back. I don't think I will though. So the thing is, there are some YouTubers that when this game came out, completely just, oh man, spewed so much vomit over this game. And to be honest with you, in the beginning of the game, they might have deserved it a little bit. But now the hottest thing is to hate the game, and people are still doing it a year and a half after release. A year and a half. It might have been cool to do it the first month, but a year and a half, you're still talking bad about this game. Bethesda flew people out. They flew people out to play their game, to play 76. And a lot of those same people, to this day, are still talking bad about the game. They're still talking bad about the game. It's almost like this. Let me use this analogy, King. It's almost like me inviting you over to my house, right? Me cooking you a great dinner, and you knew that the dinner was really good. And us watching a movie, us hanging out, going to a ball game, just having fun. I'm entertaining you, and you're enjoying yourself. And then all of a sudden, then I hear you talking about me and saying that you had an awful time, that everything stunk, and just talking about every single issue. That's what happened.
Yep.
They invited people over to their house, and those people are trashing their home. That's what's going on. And I just think it's ridiculous. I really do. And if why are you trying to burn bridges? What's the point? I understand what Pete Hines is saying about these YouTubers, and they're still bashing the game, and the game doesn't deserve it. It doesn't deserve it. In the beginning, server drops, whatever. It was an online game that BGS has never done before. But a year and a half later, almost, you're bashing the game still. Why are you bashing the game? Because you haven't played it. That's why you're bashing the game. Stop. It's annoying. Yep. It's annoying. And those are the YouTubers he's talking about. Those same YouTubers get clicks.
And again, I can
for
hear
this
people,
stuff.
Well, it deserves it. No.
It doesn't.
It deserves a fair treatment, which, yes, it deserves some negative. But constant hate just for hate, it does not deserve.
Listen, no game is perfect at launch. No game is. The game still isn't perfect. It's far from it. However, there's a difference between critiquing a product to crucifying a product.
That's right.
That's what's happening with the game.
There you go.
That's what's happening with the game. Wastelanders can kick butt. It could be what everybody wanted in a Fallout game. And from what I'm hearing, it sounds great. I can't wait. I can't wait to play it.
Being purposely pessimistic, as I call it.
That's what it is.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's annoying. Now, real quick, King, and I want to talk about this really quick. I might make my own video on this. There is this misconception that Pete Hines said no Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6. A reveal for either of those titles.
By the way, I watched it twice.
Yeah, he didn't say that at all. All he said was they don't want to show a game like Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6 every single year, and it's stale. They don't want to put Todd Howard on the stage just to talk about Elder Scrolls 6 every year when the game isn't even close.
Are there videos out there that are saying that?
That's what Pete Hines said.
No, I mean, are there videos saying that Starfield's not coming?
Well, there are some videos that said that Pete Hines said no Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6 this year at E3, which is wrong because he never said that.
I can say that no, Pete Hines did not say that.
He never said that. It's just trying to stir the pot for no reason. That makes no sense. But I might make my own video on that. But me personally, honestly, Pete Hines he never said that.
He didn't.
He never said it. He just doesn't. He just said that he doesn't want every single year their E3 appearances every single year to be stale and have Todd Howard talk about Elder Scrolls 6 every single year when the game isn't ready. Now, if the game's ready, they're going to talk about it. He never said though, no Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6 this year, which obviously we know no Elder Scrolls 6 because we haven't gotten Starfield yet. So obviously no Elder Scrolls 6. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure that one out. But I think there's a chance for Starfield. You honestly made great points about why maybe no Starfield because of E3 being canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So you made great points. I just think
you.
That's not going to hold them back. But you made a heck of an argument as to why they might not show it. So, King?
Yes.
I think we're all done. I think that's time.
And I held so much back.
You did a great job. You did a phenomenal job. Well, everyone, we thank you for watching. King, do you have anything that you want to say before we end the podcast?
Yes, but I'm not going to. Thank you for having me on again.
Of course.
I very much enjoy being on with you so much, and I appreciate being a part of your podcast.
Of course, it's a blessing that you're a part of my podcast, that you continue to deal with me and my ways and my screaming. I appreciate it. Everyone, we thank you all for watching.
Thank you for being my friend and brother.
Oh, thanks, man. Same to you. Everyone, we thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to King Fan Man's channel if you aren't already. You probably are, though, since you've listened this far into the podcast. But if you aren't, check out his channel. Subscribe to my channel as well. Check out the links to our Patreons. Everything will be down in the description below. We thank you guys for watching another episode of the Galaxy News Podcast. This is Joe and King Fan Man signing out.